If Elden Ring is even remotely in Dark Souls ballpark in terms of quality, then consider it my game of the year 2022. And hopefully I'll have a review on that game up soon enough. If I can pull myself away from it, that is.
Yeah, I don't want to play anything else.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for. This is exactly, I don't mean to sound like Cat Williams, but this is exactly.
It actually happened. That feeling that I've been yearning for so long finally hit me. That sense of awe, discovery, and youthful excitement of happening upon something new. Being treated to something spectacular, or simply wallowing in a plethora of different emotions. Immersion being chief among them. That feeling of being transported to a mystical place, where anything can and most likely will happen. I'm talking of course about unhinged escapism. Mentally subjecting yourself somewhere else, while losing track of time and responsibilities in the real world. In my previous video where I looked back on Dark Souls, I mentioned how that game made me feel when playing it. It felt strange, serene, and at times so otherworldly to the point where Dark Souls started to invade my dreams. Well, Elden Ring has had that effect on me and then some. Dreams about its many tough boss fights, jaw-droppingly beautiful locales, strange narrative beats, or simply faint images of my character riding around on torrents, taking in all the sights and sounds. Elden Ring has conjured a feeling inside of me that I haven't felt since Dark Souls 1, or The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. And in an extremely uncontroversial take that should come as no surprise to anyone, Elden Ring ranks among the absolute greatest games that I've ever played. It's usurped Dark Souls as being one of my favorite action RPGs of all time, and in my lack of interest of other games and my inability to take my mind off of it, I would have no qualms about putting Elden Ring in my list for top 5 favorite video games of all time. It's that earth-shatteringly good. But it's not perfect. So instead of spending the rest of this video simply regurgitating everything that's already been said before, I would instead like to provide some insight as to how Elden Ring could improve down the line. With an insanely healthy player base and one of the most enthusiastic communities I've ever seen for a modern day AAA title, it'd be weird to picture a scenario where developer From Software don't spend the forthcoming months adding new content to Elden Ring, as well as ironing out some wrinkles here and there, because although they aren't major by any means, they're certainly noticeable and stand out because so much else of what the game does is of ludicrously high quality. So with that said, here are my 5 suggestions for how Elden Ring could improve over time, by way of post-launch support. Number 1. Clean up some of the UI idiosyncrasies. In Elden Ring, you're going to be spending a lot of time fiddling through different menus, looking through equipment, crafting material, key items, in-game tips, and the like. The problem is that actually doing so isn't all that intuitive. Like, did you know that by clicking the right thumbstick in the menus, you can pick and choose how to organize all your items? Not too bad, right? Well, the problem arises when, even if I set the option to have the items be sorted by order of acquisition in all of the different menus, I still have to undergo this process every time I load into the game. I can't set it as a permanent option, resulting in some needless bit of busy work that could easily be fixed. Either that or simply have an entirely separate category dubbed recent items. And for some strange reason, you also can't compare items to one another, once again resulting in some needless time sink in the menus. And for the love of God, please just let me quit the game to desktop without having to return to the title screen. It's such a weird oversight. Number 2. Stability fixes. When playing the game on PC, frame rate dips do happen, and they happen entirely at random. I've personally never been killed as a result of the frame rate inconsistencies, but it's been a well-documented problem nonetheless. I've also experienced a handful of game crashes in my time with the game as well. In short, clean up the frame rate, fix the crashing issues, and just all around optimize the game better. My third suggestion is the following. Fix the damn connection issues. Do you wanna know what's better than covertly infiltrating Stormvale Castle, aka one of the coolest fucking castles ever put in a game? Well, that would be doing it in co-op. I sadly don't have any footage from that particular session, but helping two of my buddies through Stormvale Castle is an undeniable highlight in my time with the game. But for some reason the netcode in Elden Ring is absolutely hideous. Constant disconnects and unable to summon error messages as a result of the netcode being poorly implemented is once again a recurring issue for a lot of players. It severely detracts from what is otherwise an outstanding cooperative adventure, allowing you to experience some of the coolest moments in any RPG together with friends. The second this issue of the game gets addressed, I'll be doing a full co-op playthrough of the game with a friend or two. Number 4. Tweak the endgame difficulty. It's not a secret that Elden Ring is challenging, at times brutally challenging even by From Software's own standards. My issue, however, is the fact that a lot of the challenge in later parts of the game stem from boss battles in particular that are so overbloated in their design to the point of absurdity. Like, do every single boss in the final third of the game really need a one-hit kill attack or a combo of some sort that absolutely sends you to the Shadow Realm? Especially when said attacks are so briefly telegraphed to the point where it's almost hard to know what even killed you.
Helicopter, helicopter!
Make no mistake, the boss battles across the board in this game are incredible in their presentation, and many of them are a blast to fight. I just wish that From Software would be a little bit more gentle with the margin of error they afford you, which is practically non-existent at this point, hence why so many bosses feature popular cheese strats to deal with them with as few headaches as possible. My suggestion here would be to simply tone down some of the damage that these bosses dish out. Keep them difficult but without penalizing players with an instant death the millisecond they try to recuperate or queue into an attack animation. And also, fuck you, Fire Giant. Number 5. Some form of side quest tracker. While I absolutely love Elden Ring's approach to the open world design and the obfuscation of its narrative, exploration, and optional content, the reality is that Elden Ring features some really great side quest content that will send you down a long winding rabbit hole of NPC interactions, secret boss fights, and hidden sub-regions. My main gripe here is that actually unraveling the stuff on your own can be daunting to say the least, so expect to Google a good amount of the steps needed to fulfill some of these side stories. In that sense, having some form of tracker or log to slightly nudge you in the right path would be greatly appreciated, but for now, the official Elden Ring wiki is your best friend. In conclusion, Elden Ring is phenomenal. It's a landslide victory for the medium as a whole, transporting players to one of the most memorable game worlds ever conceived. 130 hours later, and I'm still playing, I'm still learning, and I'm still discovering. And I'm still dealing with this shit.
Helicopter,
Thank you for watching.